Hello again, Internet. This is the Bagel. You have just learned how to fold the Origami Tetrimino. I taught it with green paper, but I just happened to grab the red one. Now you're going to learn the Square Tetrimino, the second to last of all of my Square Tetrimino tutorials. I'm going to start off, as usual, with an 8x8 grid. If you don't have an 8x8 grid, then get an 8x8 grid, learn how to fold one, whatever you need to do. Yeah, you can pause the video right now if you need to fold one, and I'll twiddle my thumbs in the meantime. Okay, hope you're back, because that was actually pretty boring. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off 3 units from the bottom of the 8x8 grid. So you just want to fold on that crease, fold backwards on that crease, and you want to start a little tear in the paper, and then you just want to spread your hands. You can also use scissors, it doesn't really matter. And you've got scrap paper, fold a bunch of little birds or whatever, it doesn't matter. So now we have a 8x5 grid. So what we're going to do is we're going to count 3 units from the left and 3 units from the right, and we're going to get these 2 units, and we can just make a little square here. So we've got this little box right here. What we're going to want to do is fold a diagonal crease from this point to that point, and we're going to want it to be a mountain fold. So you can either pinch that, or you can just come around to this side and make a valley fold. That accomplishes the same thing. So we've got something like that. Now you want to turn it over, and you want to do the exact same thing again. So we're going to, instead of folding that way, we're going to fold this way. Now we're going to fold this way. My bad. There we go. So it's going to look something like this. Try to get it to focus. There we go. So we've got a mountain fold going from that point to that point, and the same thing on top. If we rotate it around, it's just the exact same thing. Now what we want to do is we want to get a valley fold from this point to this point. Just like that. And we want to do the same thing over here. So we're just going to fold from that point to that point. Alright. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to fold up on this crease, and we're going to fold up on this crease, basically at the intersection where this crease ends. We're going to fold on both of those creases, and you can see it's going to cause this to fold down, and it's just going to do something like that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to bring the other side up, but we're also going to make a mountain fold on this crease while folding on that valley fold. So you get something that looks kind of like this. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to take this flap and stick it right behind this yellow layer, just like that. And we're going to repeat all of that on this side, only now all we have to do is just fold on that diagonal crease, and then just going to swing this flap in just like that. So you can see we're going to have an interesting situation as far as closing up the model is concerned. Now what we're going to do is we're going to pick whichever side you want. We're just going to fold down like we normally do. We're just going to pinch a diagonal crease like that. So we just folded these two units down instead of the one we normally do. Just like that. Gonna rotate it over. And now we're going to fold this down and pinch through both layers from this point to this point. Rotate again. We're going to fold down. The layers do get slightly misaligned. You just have to kind of watch out for that and adjust as needed. Then rotate around, fold that down, and then you can just fold that flap down. So now we've got something that looks like this. This one's a little shabby, but if you do it right, it won't look quite as, I don't know, I guess rush. I'm just trying to get this tutorial out in time, so it doesn't really look the best, but it'll serve its purpose. So now we want to come to this flap. Now what we're going to do is we're going to fold this edge down to where this yellow edge meets the white. So basically we're just folding the flap in half. And then we're just going to take this corner and we're going to stick it in there. Alright, and there you go. Like I said, this one's pretty shabby. I just kind of rushed through it. You can make the usual preliminary creases before you fold it, just like I did on this one, and you can see it's turned out just slightly better. It's a little bit more stable, but it's the same folding process basically. You can do it whichever way you want. Just whenever I'm trying to kind of crank them out, I just typically do it that way. But like I said, you can prepare a little bit more next time. But anyway, that leaves us with one more Tetrimino, the T Tetrimino. So stay tuned for that tutorial, and until then, see ya.